it's the Morrisons.
Oh.
Chris, Sarah. We just got done working out.
I did.
I did too. He just sweats a lot more than me. But it's always funny because when I first started hanging out with Chris, dating him, he said, I don't work out. I did that in college. I'm so over it. My workout now is running for tip-ups, which I didn't even know what that was. It's running on the ice and then walking in the woods. And he always had ice cream. He always had soda. He always had Cheez-Its.
Oreos.
I was going to get to the Oreos. So there's been a lot of changes in both of our lives, especially yours.
Yeah.
So like on a serious note, can you talk? Because there's so many people who want to get their spouse more on board with fitness and feel like it's hopeless. And I think I felt like that too at some point, but I just knew I liked fitness. I was going to take care of myself. What was it like for you? Like how did you, now Chris is a personal trainer, we just worked out together, like he actually cares about his health. So like, can you sum up like kind of what changed for you?
Don't nag him. You nagged me a lot, and it just kind of made it even worse. And I really put my feet down in the ground on that one. And then when she left me alone, and I started seeing her working out more consistently, and then the group that she's with was more positive, and they were having all sorts of energy, and I was more lazy and tired. So that just kind of did more for me to energize me, was just seeing it and being around it consistently, and not seeing her inconsistent, which is what really drives me away, is inconsistency. So if people see you more consistent, seeing you with it, doesn't have to be every day, but at least several times a week to make it consistent. And the more your spouse, doesn't have to be husband or wife or partner or whatever, the more consistent that they see you doing it, it'll make them want to actually do it and participate more.
I've never heard you say that before. I heard him say the nagging part, like I just had to leave him alone. But like that's true. Like if you, I mean, there could be a lot of couples out there who the husband could be like, oh, here goes my wife again on another one of her health things.
Right.
You know, and they're waiting for you to
is-
stop. But if you stick with it, it's like, okay, this is our life now.
You see a lot of diets out there up and they lose so much weight, but then they go right back to it. Sarah's being consistent of like 80-20. She splurged every now and then. I did a lot more, but she started cooking healthier meals, so I started getting in that. It was a lot easier to eat what she cooked than me cooking something else. So consistency with cooking and just not pushing diets. That's my big thing. Is I'm not a big diet person. I'll do it and then I'll fall off. So exercise, you can be way more consistent with exercise, and if your spouse is on board, you can be more consistent with your nutritious food.
Yeah. So I think like we just kind of like eased in some different nutrition things. The Oreos eased out. He still gives me a hard time about that, but he ultimately started feeling better when he started eating better.
Cut out the Cokes a lot more.
Yeah.
Not to use name brands. I don't know if I can do that or not.
You can use name brands.
Soda or soda pop or whatever you want to call it.
Well, and then, so like really quick, one last question. Like now we have kids. So your metamorphosis started before we had kids, but you became a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor and everything after having kids. Like now that you have these little people who look up to you, does that play a role with you thinking about your own health?
Well, obviously when you have kids, your feelings, even if you're a man, change and become more emotionally attached to your kids. And so you want to be around and be healthy for your kids because you want to be there as long as you can. You want to see their grandkids. So I was borderline hypertension. I have heart palpitations. I still do, but it is what it is. I have a little bit of a stressful job. But exercise took a lot of that away. High blood pressure came down to normal. My palpitations, as long as I work out consistently, become minimal. Cut out the sugar a lot. That really helps. Caffeine. I barely drink coffee anymore. I really like coffee because that's what kept me awake. But it's not good for you.
Okay, you're getting sidetracked. He's
Sorry.
thinking about
the good
the
stuff
things he's done to help, but you feel better.
I do.
Yeah. And I'm not taking away his coffee. We have a Keurig. You
I
just
have
know.
decaf.
Okay. But so when it comes to kids, like maybe that's another thing. If you're thinking about getting your family healthier, like sometimes we won't do it for ourselves, but we want to be a better role model to our kids. You know, if our kids see us eating Oreos all the time, they're going to eat Oreos all the time. If we don't talk to them about what real food is, they're never going to know.
You know, I grew up, my parents were not horrible. They fed me whatever. They fed me healthy stuff, and I had unhealthy stuff. I grew up not knowing why things were bad and what things were good. You learn a bit here and there. And back in when I was little, this stuff wasn't around where you had the labels and everything that was on that was good and bad, and the information is out there more now. So watch what your kids ingest.
Things have changed a lot for sure, and it's been a conversation that hasn't happened. My parents didn't do it either, because I don't think a lot of parents did. But nowadays, 1 in 5 children is obese. Like, that is a new scary thing. And if you can start making it a topic of conversation in your family, I'm not worried about our kids in their health, because it's just being modeled to them and we talk about it to them.
It's harder to get them to eat healthier food. That means it doesn't have the sugary, sweet goodness that a lot of foods have now. Whereas, like broccoli, what we do is like a 2-bite club. Try 2 bites of this, try 2 bites of that. If you like it, yay. If not, there's other things on your plate.
Yeah, kids are just marketed. It's crazy. You go through the grocery store with one of our kids and they see something with Elsa or Anna on it.
Watch the cereal ads.
Yeah, like everything is really marketed towards kids. I really think that stuff's going to start to be changing.
They're actually talking about putting a sugar percentage on the labels.
They should. Anyways, we're getting a little sidetracked.
Sorry.
But it's really, we talk to our kids about like, hey, that's a fake food, this is a real food. You need to eat your real foods because it helps you grow big, it helps you go strong.
And it's funny because every time they eat something that we say will make it big and strong, as soon as they eat it, they stand up, then they get bigger.
Right.
Or they'll make muscles.
It's not that they can never have an Oreo, it's that they need to know the difference between a food that's really going to serve them and a food that won't. And we have to model that behavior too. So
you usually go with processed, non-processed food type of thing. You're not going to get away from it all.
No, but you have to just have it be a conversation, and you have to be more healthier than not yourself. And this whole video is about Chris transforming into healthier than not.
Now.
I know.
That's me.
But just to give you hope that your spouse can get on board, just leave them alone and you stay consistent, and it will start to rub off. It's really the best piece of advice. Take care of yourself and know it'll be a ripple effect.
Coming from a guy, he just needs to see consistency and not this yo-yo effect of diet, non-diet, diet, non-diet. It doesn't work. And that just makes it harder. So if you're consistent and he sees it, it may take a little while, it may take several months, but as long as he sees consistency, he'll come on board.
Cool. Awesome.
And he can still have Oreos, right?
When's the last time you had an Oreo?
And then, when I go to Grandma's house.
Oh, we don't have Oreos in our house anymore. It definitely helps not to have that stuff in the house.
Helps a lot.
Yeah. And Chris will do the grocery shopping every now and then, and Cheez-Its always seem to end up in the house. But
we don't eat a lot of
he
them.
Doesn't do the grocery shopping all the time.
No.
Yeah. It's like his bond now with the kids are orange squares time.
You guys got to get that Meyer thing where they bring it to you.
Okay.
So you're not tempted.
I hope this helps. Don't give up hope on your loved ones. Focus on yourself, stay consistent, and just share it. Communicate how good you feel. Stop looking at your bald spot. I wish health and fitness could fix that.
Right?
Yeah.
Shakeology is supposed to help you, right?
All right. Hope that helps.
Peace.